It's quite hot here in Kisumu, but we push on regardless. And like you mentioned it is Katiba at 16. The country is celebrating 16 years since the promulgation of the current constitution, that is back in 2010. And almost everyone across the country has something to say about the Katiba, about the constitution. And that is the situation here in Kisumu, where we are. This is Mama Grace Onyango Social Hall, where there has been a dialogue going on since morning. And the locals here, the youth, and also the civil society organization or other civil society actors engaged in that particular dialogue. And just to give you a summary of what has been going on here, some of the topical areas of discussion, I'm going to be joined by one of the civil society actors that put this dialogue together. His name is Zach Gaya, a resident of Kisumu, and also someone who has following the political landscape so keenly. And Zach, I'll just ask you to stand here and look into the camera, speak to our viewers this afternoon. Kenya is marking 16 years since the promulgation of Katiba, of the Constitution. What would you say about, because this is marked around, it's themed around constitutionalism, the democratic space ahead of 2027 general elections. What do you have to say about your observation of the political space so far?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, friend. We are here gathered here, just like you really pointed out, that, to look at the Constitution. We have celebrated 16 days since the promulgation of this Constitution. Just look at where are we in terms of implementation. The advent of the 2010 Constitution was the struggle for multipartyism in Kenya. That basically means people have the freedom to be able to choose the way to be able to engage in democracy. So that's why we're here to reflect. And back to your question about democracy, we are seeing that we are like regressing. We're not doing what's supposed to be happening, because now the Constitution guarantees us now freedom of expression, freedom of association. But now when you see what's happening now, for example, in Nyanza, recent situation, that when other people come to the counties in Nyanza to be able to express, their rights to meet the people, rights of association, to set their agendas, then goons are set up against them. That's a very big setback to the Constitution that we are supposed to be celebrating today. So I want to say that we need to be able to ensure that we implement the Constitution. The bodies which are charged with implementing the Constitution to be able to play their part. The police are supposed to ensure that people have the right to be able now to convert, to associate, to be able to share the agenda without any intimidation at all. So for us, that's why we gathered here to ask ourselves, like people in Nyanza, people in Kisumu generally, how are we doing in terms of freedom of association, the democracy that we fought for very much, so that, ask ourselves, are we on the right path or are we on the wrong path? But from what we got there, from the discussion there, that people are saying we're not doing very well, based on basically the recent events that happened in the region here.
We are not doing very well. Could you point out some of the key areas that you feel that Kenya is not really getting it right?
Yeah, first of all, just what you talked about, freedom of association. People are supposed to live everywhere as a Kenya. You're supposed to associate with everyone. We are a multi-party democracy. That means that, if I have a different position from yours, you're supposed to allow me to be able to share my agenda with the people. Then people decide for themselves. But like you said, that what happened here in Homa Bay, you saw what happened. Unfortunately, people lost their life because that people are not issue of intolerant. People are not willing that others should be able now to share what they feel they want to share with the people. And you saw in Kisumu here, when the Linda Wananchi team wanted to come here, there are a lot of, threats of, you can't come, it's the issue of goodness being set up against them, but that did not happen eventually, because the people prevailed there, and they were able to chase the goons away, so that the meeting continued. So we are asking that, people should be allowed to meet without any intimidation at all. Kenya is all of us, that's what we fought for, and the Katiba is for all Kenyans. So let's allow people to, to be able now to meet. Another thing I want to say that, we're in a county, Kisumu is a county, and just other counties. Yes, one of the things we have to allow that, there's been proven public participation. Let's allow people to be able to share their views on how they want to be governed, so that, when the county government is planning for their projects, let that be taken in, the people will be taken in the allocation of budgets and plans like that.
Thank you so much, Zach. I wish we had more time for this discussion, but then we'll cover you more inside that particular dialogue that is going on in there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Troy, that is Zach Gaya, one of the several actors in Kisumu County. Actually, they are congregating in this hall to take stock of some of the positives, some of the gains that Kenya has realized since the promulgation of the 2010 constitution, and also some of the areas that the country is not doing so right. And you've heard him mention that there is need actually to embrace the democratic space, especially now that we are in the electioneering period where Kenya will be heading into elections next year. Well, regarding whatever is going on here, I will compile that much more in our subsequent bulletins.